Oh, here we go.
Tits.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another SugarTits video. Today we investigate into the world of furries. What exactly are furries all about? Are these people just a little bit mental? Or is it just a little bit of innocent fun with people who like to dress up in cosplay as animals? Do they deserve the hatred amassed by the general public? Today I want to investigate what this whole furry thing is about, and you can decide for yourself. Love them, hate them, or don't give a f about them. Let's do some digging. But first, let's check out this sponsor for Gamer Subs.
Alright everyone, I'm gonna make me some Gamer Subs. I got my waifu bear cup here. Gamer Subs have all kinds of cool merch, and this is my favorite because it's got a bear in it. So here we have a few selections. Incel Tears, which kind of tastes like a tropically mango kind of flavor. How cool are the labels? As you can see, you got 100 servings here in just this little jar. It's got antioxidants, bugger all calories, and sugar free. So I'm gonna take 2 scoops, chuck it right in there. Now you can put whatever you like in this, but I'm just gonna go with water. You can do juice, you can do soda. Fill it right up. Look at that. Look at all that energy goodness. And there you have it. Look at all that water. So good for you. You'll be chock full of energy and ready to go. So use the code below in the description and check out Gamer Subs, where you can also get free samples.
Now, I'm no stranger to the word furry. In fact, here on my channel, I've been accused of being a furry many a time, which I can guarantee you I am fucking not. It's not like I like to dress up like an actual bear and go out in public and act like a bear. So no, I am not a furry. But it got me thinking, I don't really know what furries are all about. All I know is that they get a really bad reputation on social media for being into some kinky, animal-loving bestiality weird shit. Like they meet up in congregations dressed as animals and then go up to the hotel rooms and have animal orgies and God knows what. In fact, recently here in Australia, a furry got their ass kicked on the streets of Rundle Mall in Adelaide.
Unprovoked and in full public view.
Kick me again!
A guy was out there dressed in full furry suit, holding a political sign about voting for the furry party, taking pictures with kids and families and stuff, and apparently 3 guys took offense to it. So much so that one guy did a flying fucking Bruce Lee high kick to this guy's head. Thankfully, the furry was wearing a thick-ass rubber suit because it looked like that flying high kick sent his head swirling around 180 degrees in the opposite direction. The furry content creator Dennis Gunn shared footage of the moment he was beaten by the strangers and filming a video. And the sign he was holding said, "Vote 1 Furry Party." Now that is just gonna rub some people the wrong way. So as you can see in the footage, it shows one of these guys delivering the Liu Kang flying kick to the guy's head, which knocks him right down to the ground. Dennis Gunn said, "We were just there street performing, dressed up in costume, interacting with the public and just taking photos with people. We were just there spreading positivity. So not rabies or animal AIDS." 30 seconds before the assault, I was with a young family taking photos, and the next thing I know, someone is ripping the hair off my suit and trying to take the sign that I was holding, and I'm getting punched. Okay, that's bullshit. No matter how much you might dislike furries, it doesn't give you the right to go punching them down in public. Dennis said, "This has just been crazy. This is literally just cosplay. We're just there to spread positivity. I'm not gonna let any of that affect me public suiting or anything like that," he said. "This is what makes me happy. This is my hobby." Why do they have to do the public thing anyway, though? Seems like a bit of a weird fucking hobby to do in public. But I guess there's street performers and clowns and shit.
Why do you hate clowns so much? I've always hated clowns.
Yeah, so that's pretty fucked. I mean, it's a prime example of how people dislike furries and the kind of animosity that they attract. But what I want to know is, what are furries? What is this all about? Well, apparently furries are people who have an active interest in anthropomorphism, or giving human characteristics to animals. The characters are often made up by the community members themselves, who create an avatar known as fursona. Oh god. Really? A fursona interacts interacts with others in the community via role-playing and art. Some furries will make colourful costumes for their characters called fursuits, and usually wear them in a public forum, either in person or online. Those in the community see being a furry as a safe, functional way to explore who they are as a person, including gender identity and sexual orientation. See, that's where I get a little bit irked out on this whole furry thing. Why do you have to bring in the sexual orientation and the animal thing together? That's what freaks me out. The furry community holds worldwide conventions and meets where furries can have real-life encounters. And we're going to have a look at one said encounter here in Melbourne, Australia.
I heard there was a furry convention happening in Melbourne.
You're dressing up in a carpet as a make-believe animal. Like, that sounds ridiculous.
It kind of does sound ridiculous.
So what is actually a furry? What are you guys all about?
I think it's very much an artistic endeavour, and I think it's just also a little bit of personal liberation. Like, you can just be who you want.
Oh my god.
Okay, so far I'm getting the impression that these people are a little bit socially awkward. You know, maybe like geeks or people who've been bullied or picked on in school. Maybe a little bit too much into anime, a little bit too retarded. And they're trying to come together as a super geek community to make friends. And that's nice, that's wholesome. I'm not gonna lie, some of these costumes are pretty cool. They must be bloody expensive.
What are some stereotypes about furries that you really hate?
That they're used for a lot of adult activities. Like, there's going to be that side in every fandom, but it's really minimal in this one.
Is there like an adult or sexual aspect for you at all?
Not really. I paid too much for this. I'm not about to do that.
Okay, so there you go. They're saying that there are people who do this whole furry cosplay shit and they're not interested in any sexual aspect of it. So that's fine. That's okay. Hey, you want to dress up like animals and come together as animals and have some fun? Oh wait, maybe don't come together as animals. I don't see a problem with that, as long as you're not hooking up later and not attaching strap-ons to those animal costumes and having some crazy animal orgies and thinking about animals while you're doing it. Okay, go for your life.
People equate it to being like a social suit of armor. Like, I already look ridiculous, so I get to act ridiculous as well.
Yeah, these are geeks, aren't they? I'm sensing a lot of geek and autism here.
Give us your best bunny hop.
And there is something a little weird, I must admit. I mean, this bunny seems like underneath that bunny suit, he's a middle-aged man. A middle-aged man dressed in a bunny suit. He must fucking love Easter.
Does your mum know that you're a furry?
Yes, she doesn't like it.
His mum doesn't like the fact that he's a furry.
What did she say to you?
Very, very bad things. She said some really mean things about me.
Jason! You're fucking middle-aged, you're still living in my basement, and you got comic books everywhere, you dress up like a fucking bunny on the weekends. Get the fuck out of my house and grow up!
How much did it cost you?
This one was about 5,500 USD 3 years ago, so do the math.
Jesus, $8,000 for a costume. That's a lot of coin for a costume. Seems like a pretty expensive hobby to dress like an animal.
I own 3 dogs.
Have they ever seen you in the furry suit?
Once they realise it's me inside, they're fine with it. They just don't like my face being covered more than anything else, and they just try to pull your balls off.
Wait, did he say his dogs don't like him in the fursuit and they try to rip his balls off?
I'm an otter-tiger hybrid.
What? Otter-tiger hybrid. Okay, the fantasy is really coming into this shit, isn't it? You can be hybrids of animals. An otter and a tiger. Who the fuck puts that together?
Do you ever spend time at home just chilling in the suit?
Yes, I do, especially in like winter because it is warm.
Kind of is the next level, isn't it? I mean, people buy those suits in winter to stay warm. You know, the animal onesies. This is just taking it to a whole new level.
What does having a fursona mean to you?
I'm actually trans myself, and so that actually helps me explore what I like and what I want to look like one day.
Say what?
I've read statistics that a large majority of the furry community is queer. Why do you think that is?
Queer people are less afraid to be themselves.
I don't think queer people are less afraid to be themselves. I think queer people are afraid to be themselves around the general community because they know it's an oddity. So maybe that's where this whole thing comes into play. Like I said, socially awkward kids getting bullied in school, they're looking for a community. They want to be around other freaky ass people like themselves. Not all freaky, you know what I mean.
I'm 7 and I'm
Okay, they're bringing kids into this thing now. I mean, it's not really odd for kids to want to dress up like a raptor, is it? That's just everyday play for them. Okay, that is a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. It seems like for the most part, they're just a bunch of odd people, a bit socially awkward, who want to get together and have fun and dress like animals. A little bit more weird when they're creating backstories and creating animal hybrids and shit. But hey, it's like I said, as long as these animals aren't congregating to fuck each other, especially around kids, I guess it's cool. Still weird, especially when this whole furry stuff becomes a part of government policies.
Can you name a school where it has been confirmed that students are using litter boxes?
Well, what we do with this bill is we prevent that from happening, but what we don't take out.
Can you name a school where it has been confirmed that students are using litter boxes? This was at the top of your press release. This was mentioned when you introduced this bill, created quite a stir. So I'm asking, can you name a school where it's been confirmed that there are litter boxes being provided to students?
So I can't be 100% on what exactly is going on here. I think it's some legislation they're trying to get in about furry kids in schools needing cat litter boxes to piss in, and then they're arguing back and forth about how this is debunked and a waste of government time. Check this out.
Your tweet about this bill was flagged by the app itself under their community notes, and their fact check said, sensationalist claims about furries literally behaving as animals and receiving accommodations such as litter boxes have been repeatedly debunked as hoaxes. Is that correct?
It was flagged on, what is it, community notes?
Do you think it's a good use of our time to write laws based on debunked internet conspiracy theories?
True.
My concern is that instead of holding a hearing about student mental health, instead of holding a hearing about school closures across Texas, we are spending precious legislative time toward the end of this legislative session on a bill called the Furries Act. And honestly, Representative Gertis, this whole thing is just weird and honestly a little creepy. And I think that's the point.
Okay, weird. Final thoughts? Weird. Seems like it's not really hurting anyone, and especially if they're keeping kids and sexualization out of this furry shit. Okay, I'm not gonna be the one to deliver a flying kung fu kick to you in the middle of a street. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to check me out on Rumble, BitChute, or X. Make sure you check out GamerSups and use that link below, where you can check them out and even get free samples. And I'll see you in the next video. Tits out, everyone.